At 65, the tragedy of Robin Roberts is beyond heartbreaking, a story that reminds us how even the brightest personalities can carry shadows that the world never fully sees. To most, Robin Roberts has always been a beacon of resilience, a voice of comfort, and a figure whose optimism seems endless. For decades, viewers have watched her navigate the highs and lows of broadcasting, celebrating milestones, sharing human interest stories, and inspiring millions with her unwavering courage. Yet behind the smiles and the perfectly framed interviews lies a personal story shaped by loss, struggle, and the relentless pressure of living in the public eye. The tragedy in this account is not a single event but a series of moments that compounded over time, leaving scars invisible to her audience. Friends and colleagues recall the tireless dedication that defined Robin's career: early mornings, late nights, and a constant push to perfect her craft. She gave her heart to the camera, yet often the very people who loved her most saw the toll it took. There were nights when exhaustion weighed heavier than the applause, and days when she had to compartmentalize grief just to appear composed. For someone so used to carrying the stories of others, there was little space to process her own pain. Part of the heartbreak stems from personal losses that shaped Robin in ways few could witness. In this fictionalized telling, she faced the decline of a beloved family member, the strain of watching someone she loved struggle silently, and the quiet grief that accompanies every loss when public life demands that sorrow remain invisible. Every broadcast required poise, every segment a carefully controlled smile. She became a master of masking vulnerability, turning grief into inspiration for others. And yet, in private moments, those emotions could no longer be contained. Her heart, already stretched thin by the demands of her career, often felt unbearably heavy. Even professional challenges contributed to this fictional tragedy. Robin was always expected to maintain the highest standards, to appear upbeat even when events behind the scenes shook her to the core. The industry that celebrated her successes also magnified every setback. Ratings, reviews, and the constant pressure of live television created a tension that never fully released. There were moments when she wondered if the weight of expectation would crush her entirely. Her determination to persevere, while inspiring to millions, came at an enormous personal cost. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching aspect of this story is the contrast between public perception and private reality. Millions saw Robin as a symbol of strength, resilience, and grace, unaware of the silent battles she fought each day. Her laughter on set, her encouragement of colleagues, her compassionate interviews, all these gestures masked a profound vulnerability that few could penetrate. In this fictionalized narrative, the tragedy is not a dramatic collapse, but the quiet, persistent sorrow that accompanies a life lived so openly, yet so privately at the same time. Yet even amidst this heartbreak, Robin's story carries a powerful lesson about humanity, endurance, and empathy. Her tragedy, while deeply painful, also highlights the extraordinary capacity of the human spirit to continue giving, loving, and inspiring despite personal suffering. Robin's life, in this version, is a testament to courage, not the kind that makes headlines, but the quiet courage of showing up each day, facing the weight of loss and responsibility, and still choosing to shine for others. It is this paradox that makes her story both devastating and profoundly moving. As she turns 65 in this fictional account, the world is reminded that behind the polished interviews, the smiling television persona, and the public triumphs, there is a person who has weathered immense sorrow. The tragedy of Robin Roberts is not only in what she has endured but in the subtle, relentless way life tested her, and yet she continued to give herself fully to her work and her audience. It is a story that lingers long after the broadcast ends, a reminder that even those who inspire the most are human, that grief and heartbreak do not discriminate, and that strength is often inseparable from suffering. In the end, the tragedy of Robin Roberts at 65 is beyond heartbreaking. Not because it is sensational, but because it is deeply human. It is the story of someone who loved, lost, and persevered, whose public life belies a private reality of sorrow and endurance. It is a reminder that true resilience is forged not in moments of triumph alone, but in the quiet, unseen struggles that define a life fully lived. Her story, fictionalized yet profoundly moving, leaves an indelible mark on the heart, illustrating the fragile beauty of courage in the face of relentless adversity.